Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to fix Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit to run on a modern Windows operating system like Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8.1, etc. So without any further ado, let's start the video. So I actually made a video on this game in the starting of my channel, but the video had very low sound. So you might be facing problem while listening to that video, so I decided to remake that video. So we'll be starting the video now. First of all, you need to install the game. So if you are running a 64-bit operating system, you won't be able to install the game because the game uses a 16-bit installer. Along with that, the game requires a old operating system to install the game. So we'll be trying once. If we click on the install button, we get this error message setup exe was not found. So we'll be trying to run the file directly. You can also see that the same message exists. So let's try with OTVDM now. So if you try with OTVDM, you will see that the installation will start, but you will face another problem while moving ahead. First of all, the setup may freeze for no reason, but it might also be something from your operating system. Like I have fdm.exe, which is free download manager, running in my background, so it might be waiting for another process to exit. So this is a problem with the wait change system of Microsoft Windows. So if this installation freezes here, you need to go to the task manager, go to the details tab, navigate to the setup process. You can get it from here. You will get in the app section otvdmw.exe. Right click on the install sheet engine .exe, go to details and click on analyze wait chain. If this setup freezes here, you will be getting a wait chain here. For example, I am getting fdm.exe. We will click on end process. So the setup will continue, but it will be useless because the setup will not find Windows 95. So we will be needing another process anyway. So we have to copy some files and folders from the CD drive first. Let's do that. We will be copying the DLL files along with the exe and the readme files. And other help files. You don't need these autorun files because these are only for installation purposes. Apart from that, copy all the other files. And for the game, you need to copy the game data, FE data, and it is all. So after we have copied the files and folders, we need to paste it in a certain directory. We'll be pasting it at here in E drive NFS 3 directory. So we got the error message Need for Speed 3 only runs in Windows 95 and Windows 98. So it will be useless if you use OTVDM to install the game. So we have copied the files successfully. Now if you want, you can also copy the other files and folders, but it will be no use. It will be just taking your hard drive space. So after we have done that, we need to install some registry for the game. So I'll provide the link for the registry in the description. You can download it from there. So when you open the zipped file or the RAR file, you will be finding two different folders, x86 and x64, which will contain the registry files along with another D3D folder. So we'll be focusing on the x86 and x64 folder now. So in x64 folder you get 4 files, and in the x86 folder you get the same 4 files. So if you are using a 64-bit operating system, you will be using the x64 folder, and if you are using 32-bit operating system, you will be using the x86 folder. So if you open any of the file of x64 folder like glide.registry, it will register the game to run with glide a glide card. So if we edit the registry file, it is HK local machine software wo6432 node electronic arts need for speed 3. This is the location where the registry key will be stored. This is the display name. These are different registries, and please notice that the group name is 3dfx. This will be different for different cards. For example, for direct3D cards it should be d3d. For the thresh driver of Voodoo cards it should be Voodoo 2 or Voodoo. For direct3D cards it should be direct3D. For 3D card for glide it should be a glide card from 3dfx. For direct3D it can be any other card. And for glide emulation, the direct3D device dword value will be 0, whereas for direct3D it will be 1. And also for hardware acceleration, both glide and direct3D mode will have 1 because they use hardware acceleration from their GPU. So we'll be trying out the glide mode first. So we'll be opening the glide.reg file. This is because glide mode is most compatible in this game. So after we have registered the file for glide, we have to do a couple of more things. So we'll be copying these 3 files to somewhere. You need to copy the install.win file to this game directory, otherwise the game won't work. You can copy these 2 files anywhere you want, nfs3-fix.hdb and the patch install.bat. You can copy these 2 files anywhere, but you need to copy this install.win file to this game directory. So after you have copied these files, you have to run this patch install.bat file. It will install some some compatibility fixes for Need for Speed 3 game. So the compatibility file reads correct file paths. It will correct the file paths for this game. It will correct the uninstallation file path. It will disable NX. I think NX is DEP. Emulate get disk free space. If it says you have low disk space, it will correct this problem. Emulate heap. I don't know what it is. I put it as it did not work without this fix. Emulate slow CPU. The old games may need a slow CPU, otherwise the game may run slow on a faster CPU or vice versa. Force admin access for administrator. Global memory status lie. If it shows you have insufficient memory, then it will fix the problem. Ignore debug output. If it wants to debug output some debugging message, so it will ignore this output. And it is map memory B000. It is a memory location for old operating system, and it is single processor affinity. It will use 1 CPU core. So we can try out this game now. So the game actually froze. Now let's see what's going on in registry. So the registry data seems correct, but let's see what about the other settings. So we have copied the game data and the FE data folder. So everything seems fine. So now let's configure and glide. So the game is running fine now. The game may froze sometimes because it is an old game with many bugs. I'm decreasing the volume so that I am audible. So in the graphics menu you will get 16-bit colors and also a maximum of 1024 by 760 resolution. You can also get widescreen, but we'll be turning it off now. You can also turn on car shading, car details, special effects, horizon. You can also turn on Z buffer. I have not actually checked out what Z buffer does for glide cars, but I am turning it on for better graphics or better VSync or anything it does, I don't know. So we are running the game at maximum settings possible by a Voodoo card. So let's start the race. I forgot the controls actually. So I was connected to a controller, so it was not detecting the keyboard. So I will be starting the game again. Okay, now it is working fine. Now let's do this race for some time to see if the game is working fine. If you guys know what Z buffer is, you can explain me in the comment section. I have not experienced any Voodoo card in the past. So glide mode is working fine. This is because it is using nglide to run the game. It should also work fine with dgVoodoo. Let's try once. While using dgVoodoo, you might get a windowed mode in glide mode. So we'll be fixing this problem. So I think the fix is you have to go to the glide tab, and you have to check for a option like this: disable alt enter to toggle full screen state. I have to see if it is present on glide mode or not. I think it is not present in this glide mode, so I don't think it will be possible to go from full screen to windowed mode in dgVoodoo while using glide emulation. But there is not much problem if you want to run the game on full screen, but dgVoodoo does not do that on your PC, then you can use nglide instead. So glide mode with dgVoodoo is also working fine apart from this windowed mode. It is a wide behavior of dgVoodoo. I don't know if it is fixed in the latest version. I have not tried out the latest version yet, so I'll be not commenting on that anymore. So now let's try out the software version. So for software rendering, you might need to use the dgVoodoo ddraw file to run the game, because the game may crash with the default Windows DLLs. So one thing we forgot to register while registering glide.reg file is gpyd.reg. This is a registry file for all the video cards available on your PC. If you don't do that, you might not get the list of all video cards that this game supports for changing the video card and the video card description in the future if you have any compatibility issues. So we have now registered the game for using software rendering. So we'll now try if the game runs on software rendering mode. So you can see that the game immediately crashes. So let's see if the game works with the direct draw DLL. Okay, the game works fine on direct draw mode of dgVoodoo. So the game worked fine on software rendering mode with dgVoodoo, but it did not work on the native DirectX libraries. It might work on your PC with the native DirectX libraries, but it depends on your luck. So we are done with the software rendering. So now we'll go to the Direct 3D mode. So before trying out Direct 3D with dgVoodoo, let's try to run the game on native DirectX DLLs. So the game crashed again. Okay, so now let's try to do some registry tweaks. So in order to get the registry options for NFS3, go to HK local machine, go to software, WOW6432 node if you are using a 64-bit operating system, and then go to electronic arts folder followed by the Need for Speed 3 folder. If you are using a 32-bit operating system, the electronic arts folder should be here. Okay, so now let's move to the editing part. So in Need for Speed 3 folder, you will be getting the 3D card. Let's try changing the 3D card to something else. Let's see what we get from here. Let's try with NVIDIA TNT. So the game crashed again. I don't think it will be possible. It is possible sometimes, whereas it is impossible on the other times. Because this is an old game, it might be hard to run on modern PCs. So it is dependent on your luck and also on a hit and trial basis. So we'll be trying out the game on Directory mode with nglide now. dgVoodoo now. But let's first exit the game. Before running the game on dgVoodoo, let's see if we have any logs in the event viewer. We are not getting any logs on this game now. So let's try to run the game on dgVoodoo. So the game is running on dgVoodoo. So before we move ahead, let's increase the resolution so that we get a clearer image. Okay, now let's start a race. So the game is running fine on Directory mode also with dgVoodoo. So we have been successful in running the game on software Directory as well as glide mode on dgVoodoo and nglide. But we were unsuccessful in running the game on software mode and Directory mode with the native DirectX DLLs. So this might be a problem with the latest version of Windows 10, or it might be a problem with the software that you are using on your PC. So if you are following my channel from a long time and you have watched the video that I made on Need for Speed Special Edition for Windows 95 a while ago, I have mentioned that the game does not work due to driver problems for Windows 10. The game Need for Speed special edition for Windows 95 did not work on my PC just because of the microphone driver. So this game might also have some similar problems. It might be refusing to run because of a certain driver or a certain application I have installed, or because I have not installed a certain application or a certain driver. So the case might be vice versa, or it might be a similar case for this game also. So instead of going through this hard way, you can run the game on direct 3D mode or software mode with dgVoodoo if you require, or for glide mode you have the nglide or this dgVoodoo application also. So at the end of the video, you can run the game without any problems on your PC. So I would like to end the video here, guys. Thanks for watching the video. If this video helped you, please click on the like button, click on the subscribe button for more videos in the future, and as always, stay tuned for more videos. Bye for now.